Okay, I've just finished cleaning another one of the potential high damage areas in our rental house, which is the kitchen window area, which is probably the area, other than our kitchen table, where the birds hung out the most because they like to look out the window and such. And so I had the same kind of apparatus set up with shelf liners and with some wood to guard the windowsill from damage and that kind of a thing. And you know, of course, it was used by the birds, and so there was some poop and stuff around. I clean it off on a weekly basis. But our landlord didn't mention it in particular, but I suspect this is another one of the areas of his concern, and so I've went ahead and cleaned it out to show its actual condition and state of repair. So this is the area. This is the counter, which probably could use a wipe down with some CLR, because there's just a little bit of calcium residue, I think, on the counters. The windowsills themselves look pretty good. There's a couple of little areas where there's little nicks and stuff like that. But overall, I don't think this would constitute what I would consider to be high damage. The high damage that is in this area is right here, and this side of this cabinet has been affected by steam coming off of our coffee pots over 7 years. There's not an area on the counter other than like right here, but even then it would be affecting this wood here. There's not an area on our kitchen counters where we could have a coffee pot and not have any wood exposed to rising steam and that kind of a thing. So last year during our inspection, I did point this out to him, that the wood was reacting this way, and the landlord did not seem particularly fazed by it. But to me, looking around this area, this is absolutely the worst damage, and it's pretty bad. I mean, the laminate on the particle board that's underneath it is coming apart, and there's all this white staining and stuff, and that looks pretty bad. But that's not something that we in any way intentionally did or anything like that. It's part of it has to do with the wood here, I think, because I'll show you another instance of the same thing. I think wherever they got this particular wood to put in our cabinets and stuff like this, in this house, the wood wasn't treated correctly. This is our master washroom, and it's got the same kind of wood on the cabinets here, but you see this one drawer is being affected this way, and this is in a room where we have a fan that controls the steam, and yet sometimes if we take a bath or a shower, there's enough steam running around the room that the wood is reacting like this, in the same way as the kitchen cabinet. This is not our fault, and it's not even anything actually that the landlord seemed to be particularly upset with. And to me, those are some of the things that are most in need of repair around here. But this area, which is of his concern, to me, this looks pretty good. So I'm just documenting this, because this is more of the kind of area that he was expressing concern with. Certainly this is the area that I recognize as the most bird impact area. I did take out the screen because the screen started coming loose from the frame, so it needs a new screen or a replacement screen in the frame. It's just coming loose on one side. That's about it. So again, I don't think this constitutes any reason to compel us to leave at all, but certainly not to leave in any kind of abrupt, rushed manner.